Hi Year 10. In this video I'm going to go through the solutions to the 2017 yearly. Make sure before watching this video that you've at least attempted the questions from the paper. Feel free to pause the video whenever that suits you. Alright, so question 1. Fully simplify. So we're going to collect like terms. So 3x and 3x plus 2x becomes 5x. Minus 4 minus 6 is minus 10. So that's D. Which of the following tests can be used to show that are congruent? So I have a side here that's equal to another side there, the angle and another side is equal to the other side here. So we've got two sides and its included angle. So that's side, angle, side. When rolling a six-sided die, the probability of rolling an even number, or even number, you've got 2, 4 and 6. That's three numbers out of the total of 6, so you get 3 out of 6. You got to simplify 3 out of 6 because that's half. Use the graph to determine the point of intersection. So these two graphs intersect here. That's, if you read off the graph, it's 2, 3. Okay, so next one, how much interest do you earn if you invest $800 for 2 years? I've got to use the formula I equals PRN. Simple interest, put in 100, that's your principal, times your rate, which is 5.6 over 100. You need to times that by 2 years. So just put it in your calculator. It's 89.60, so it's this one here. In parallel lines, the alternate angle formed by the transversal. So what it's saying is you've got two parallel lines like this, transversal line that just cuts it, so it can be that goes through it. Alternate is the Z, so this angle here is equal to the angle there in the Z if you remember your properties of parallel lines. Okay, if this angle here is 100, this angle here will be 100, so that makes it Z as well. So in parallel lines, the alternate angles formed by transversal are equal. The y-intercept for the graph, so you gotta remember the general formula y equals mx plus b. You have to remember that b is the y-intercept, so the number that's by itself. So the number that's by itself here is negative 10. That's gonna be the y-intercept. Volume of the prism, volume is area times height. Okay, so just think of it as a loaf of bread. We're going to cut this loaf of bread into slices. Okay, the first slice is going to be this face here. So that would be, that's the area, is 7 times 2. But this slice of bread, 7 times 2, goes on for 3 meters. So I need to multiply that face by 3. So 7 times 2 times 3, yeah, just chuck it in your calculator, you get 42. It should be cubes, not square units. The mean shown above, that's just average. So put it into your calculator. So what I'm doing is I'm adding now, plus 3.2. plus 5.9, plus 5.6, plus 3.8. And I've got to divide it by, so I got 42.8, I've got to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 7. So I get 6.11. It wants one decimal place. That's what I got. So it should be this one. The value of cos 80, that's fine, just put cos 80 in your calculator. 0.17, yeah. Expand and simplify. Okay, sorry, but I think it's just expand and simplify. So when we expand, take the number outside the bracket, we multiply it to the terms inside. So what is this? It becomes 3 times 2x minus 3 times 5 plus 2 times x minus 2 times 4. 3 times 2x is 6x. Okay, 6x plus 2x is 8x minus 15. Take away 8 is... That's your answer. Find the median. Okay, so make sure they're in order first. So they're not in order. So I'm just going to write it in order. So we should be 20, 21, 22, 23, so 20, 21, 22, 23, 27. Yeah, that's the rest. So median will be, how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So median will be between the 5th and the 6th term. So you're welcome to just cross the first, cross the last. So median will be between these two. Yeah, so median is just halfway between that, which is you add 2 of them and you divide it by 2. Mode, so what occurs the most? 28. So mode most, that's 28. Calculate the range, that's just the highest minus the lowest. Find the value of the pronumeral. So we've got, it's a right angle triangles. I've got an angle, so I've got some sides, so I'm going to use trig. So this side here is opposite. This is my hypotenuse, and this is my adjacent side. I've got a value for adjacent, some sort of value for hypotenuse, and I've got an angle. So you can just write SOHCAHTOA. Have to use A and H, so that's cos. So cos 28 equals 50 over y. Okay. 50 over y, and then gotta get rid of this fraction, so I'm going to times both sides by y. And then I want to make y by itself because I want to find an answer for y, so I'm just going to divide both sides. And then you just put 50 over cos 28. 56, once it's two decimal places, 56.63. There's no unit for this, so just 2 decimal places. Okay, find the area of this sector, correct to 1 decimal place. So area of a circle, a full circle, is pi r squared. We don't have a full circle though, we only have 42 degrees of the full 360. So our area formula should technically be 42 over 360, the fraction of a full 360 times pi r squared. And radius in this case is 17 squared. So just put that in the calculator. One decimal place becomes 9. Out of 10 marbles in a bag, calculate the probability of not drawing a white marble. Not drawing white means I will draw a red, black, and 2 orange. So 3 plus 4 plus 2, which is 9, 9 out of 10. Or if you did complementary events, you can just do 1 take away 1 out of 10. That'll give you that as well. Probability of an orange marble is 2 out of 10, which becomes 1/5. You have to divide top and bottom by 2. Factorize, taking out a common term, a common number in terms from both of these. So 2m and 10, I can take out 2. So 2m is made up of 2 times m. 10 is made up of 2 times 5. So if I take out 2, I'm going to ask myself what's left. So let's just, I usually ask myself 2 times what gives me 2m. It's m, and 2 times what gives me minus 10. You can just look at these terms here. So this one, 18pq and 6p. Look at what's common. So I say 16 and 8. 6 and 18 can both be divided by 6. So I can take that out, and they both have a p each. So I'm going to take that out. So another way of looking at it is you can say 18pq divided by 6p is what? I just like to tell myself, if I take out 6p, what's left of here? 3q. Yeah, 6p times 3q gives me that. 6p times what gives me 6p? Just times by 1. And if you're ever unsure, you can always just double check by expanding this term back into this, because factorizing and expanding are opposite operations. So if you're unsure, you can just take this term, multiply back in, and you should get the question. A number is multiplied by 3, then 10 is subtracted to give a result of 2. Write an equation. So my number can be any number. So it can be represented with any letter. So we can use the letter V if we wanted to. A number is multiplied by by 3. So 3V. Then 10 is subtracted. So take away 10, I get a result of 2. So the question just wants to write an equation, not to solve it. We've written an equation. That's it. Okay, section 2. Section 2, how are we going for time? Okay, section 2. The two triangles are congruent. The value of the polynomial is. So the two triangles are exactly the same. Okay, so we got to double check. 107 plus 47. 180 minus that is 26. So this side here is 26 degrees. Yeah. So, but 107, 26. So the last one will be 47. Because the triangles are exactly the same, so the angles have to be the same as well. We want the letter x. So the x is on the side with the 107 and the 26. So look on this side here, this triangle, which is the important, the 8 or the 12? Well, if you look at the 8 centimeter, that length is between the 107 and the 47. We don't want that. We want the length between the 107 and the 26, which is this one here. So that side there is identical to that. It's just this one is rotated. So that's 12. An ice cream shop has 5 flavors. If a customer chooses 2 scoops of ice cream, how many flavor combinations would there be? Okay, so let's do this method here. Flavor 1, flavor 2. How many flavor combinations would there be? So let's say he chose strawberry as his first one. He can either choose, just trying to think if the question, because the student did ask me, can it be strawberry and strawberry? Can you choose 2 of the same combinations? I'm going to say you can. Guess you can get 2 scoops of the same. I wouldn't say they can't be. So if the first one is strawberry, they can either choose strawberry, raspberry, vanilla, chocolate, or mango. That's 5 different choices. So no matter what flavor they choose, they're always going to have 5 other options. So how many flavors can be chosen for the first choice? So you can choose strawberry, raspberry, vanilla, chocolate, or mango. So that's 5. So if we just take 5 times 5, there's 5 lots of 5 combinations, which is 25. Okay, so this 5 represents the 5 different flavors. And whatever 5 flavors you choose, you can choose the exact same 5 here. Any of the 5 here. So I've just multiplied 5 and 5. Which expression calculates the value of a computer if it was bought and it depreciated? So you need to remember, compound interest is when something grows, like an investment over time. Depreciation is like a car or something like that drops in value, and that the plus changes to a minus. So bought for 25,000, so that's your P, and 10% is your R. So 25,000, 1 take away 10% to the power of 4. Okay, because that's P, that's R, and that's N. 8k minus 2 expressed with positive indice is equal to, so if you look here, the k is the term that has a negative power. So if I want to get rid of the negative, I push it down. I pretty much switch its place. So this at the moment is in the numerator. So if I want to get rid of this minus, all I do is I take this term and I push it. The 8 stays at the top. Okay, so the 8 stays up there and the k goes down. And when it goes down, the cost of it going down is it loses its negative power. So which of the following does the point lie? So when a point lies on a line, if you substitute this point into the line, it should work. So let me show you what I mean. So if I sub this point in here, this is my x value, that's my first part, that's my y value. So if I put those two values in here, it should make sense if the point lies on the line. So 5, what's that, negative 5? So negative 5 equals, what's x? 2. 2 minus 5. So does negative 5 equal to 2 minus 5? It doesn't. So this point does not lie on this line. Let's just try, and you would just keep trying. So I did this question earlier, I think it's this one here. So I sub 2 in there. No, not 2. Negative 5 equals 2 take away 7. Negative 5 equals 2 take away 7, which is negative 5. That makes sense. So it has to line that one there. 6. Which of the following formula is used to calculate the surface area of a closed cylinder? Okay. So if it helps, you can draw the net of a cylinder. So the area, we know each circle is pi r squared. Yeah, so surface areas, we're adding all the area of all the faces. So when I add surface area, I should get something like pi r squared plus pi r squared gives me 2 pi r squared. Because our question is multiple choice, we can be smart about it. Which one of these has 2 pi r squared in it? This one doesn't, so it can't be that. This one does. This one has 2 pi r squared, so it could be that. But then it adds another pi r squared, so that it's just saying that there's another circle somewhere. Can't be that. It can't be pi r squared and pi r squared. Okay, but if you want to do it properly, this rectangle here, that's its height, and this length here wraps around the circle. It's like a Coke can, okay? That's the label for the Coke can, and it wraps around the circle. So this length from here to here should be the circumference of the circle. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, circumference equals 2 pi r. So this area of this rectangle bit here is 2 pi r times height. Okay, so the surface area is the 2 circles plus the rectangular bit. So it's this. Which statement is untrue about the box plots below? The lowest score is found in the dataset X. That's true, so it can't be that. The median of dataset Y is greater than set X. So the median is here, that's the middle. That's the middle, so it's saying Y is greater than X, and it is bigger, so that's fine. About 25% of dataset X had a score less than 7. So this is 25% here. From here to here is another 25%. 25% from here to here, and the last 25%. So it's saying 25% had less than 7. Well, wait a sec, 7 is all the way over here. So that can't be right. That's the untrue one. And if you look here, dataset X is more spread than dataset Y. You can see Y is clumped up here, X is spread out from 0 to 13. So it wouldn't have been able to be that one. Okay, this is the same as, okay, we have brackets, so our instinct is to get rid of the brackets. We're going to expand that times that, that times that, this times this. Yeah, so what we write is okay, so we can write 2x times x minus 2, and then 3 multiplies to this as well. Okay, sorry about that. And we just take 2x times x gives us 2x squared, 2x times that, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times that is negative 6. Okay, so we just tidy it up now. 2x squared stays like that. Minus 4x plus 3x is minus x minus 6. So what's this one? It's D. If a is 6, b is negative 4, and c is minus 2, find the value of that. Okay, easy, no worries. So I might use a calculator if it makes it easier, but I'm just going to sub it in. So 4 times, what's a? A is 6. Minus 3 times 6 squared minus b times c, which is minus 4 minus 2. Okay, so you can probably just use a calculator for this if you really were lazy. Just thinking if I should use a calculator or not. I'm feeling a bit lazy, so 4. Oh, you know what? 4 times 6 is 24. 6 squared. So what's that? 36 times 3 is 108. What's this? Minus 4 times minus 2 is positive 8. Minus 8. So you just do 25, take away 24, take away that. The volume of a cylinder of diameter 12 and height 16. Okay, height is 16. Diameter 12. Volume is area times height, like I said before. So if I was to cut this into slices of bread, each slice would be circular like that. So the first slice is this one here. That's the area of the circular slice. That would be pi r squared times height. The radius in this case is not 12 but 6, and the height is 16. So you just do 11809 156, that's the one. Find the solutions to this quadratic equation. Okay, so to find the solution of this, I want to factorize it. So I use the cross method. You feel free to use whatever method you want. The factors of x squared are x and x. The combinations of 2, well, there's only 2 and 1, like the factors of 2. Okay, times along the diagonals to check. So x times 1 is x, x times 2 is 2x. When I add these together, I should get the middle term. I got 3x. That equals this. So when I write it, I read it across like this. So x plus 2, x plus 1 equals to 0. So to solve this equation, all you have to do is you make this bracket equal to 0. You make this bracket equal to 0. It's called the null factor law. Okay, and then you just solve it. That's the solutions, okay? Find the equation of the line perpendicular to this at point 23. We know the general equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. It's a bit blurry. I'm just hoping you guys can see. So we need a gradient, which is m, and we need a point, which is what we can use for b. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to this line. So if a line is perpendicular to this line, remember, if the lines are perpendicular, their gradients multiply and give you -1. Okay, that's one of the laws. This gradient is 2. So 2 times our mysterious gradient equals -1, and we just solve it. Okay, we just want m2, which is our gradient. That is, divide both sides by 2, becomes a -12. So that's the perpendicular gradient. So now we've got the m. We know that it also goes through a point. Okay, if it goes through a point, we can sub it in like we did earlier. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put -12 in here. Y equals -12 x plus b. Now I'm going to sub this point in. So this is, the first one is the x part, the second part is the y. So sorry, it's a bit blurry. You guys can see. Yes, I'm going to sub this. This is x and this is y. So y, I'm going to put 3. X is 2. So 3 equals -12 times 2. -12 times 2. The 2's can just cancel out. Equals -1 plus b. Therefore, add 1 to both sides. B should equal 4. So therefore, my equation is now y equals, I know what m is, it's -12. I know what b is 4. That's it. Prove that triangle ABC is congruent to DC, stating your reasons. No worries. First part is, I'm just going to write like my topic sentence. Okay, in these two triangles, what can I see that's the same? Because we're going to prove that they're identical. They do look identical. We can't use the excuse that they look the same. We're mathematicians, so we need to prove. So let me just make it clearer. That's a right angle there. So I know that AB is equal to ED. How do I know that? Well, the question gave it to us, because it gave the markings already. So what else in ABC is the same as DEC? Well, I know this part is equal to that part. So EC equals to BC. That is also given. Okay, what else can we see? Well, I know this is 90, then I know this has to be 90 as well. It's a mirror reflection. They're called vertically opposite angles. Angle ACB equals angle ECD. The reason is vertically opposite. Okay, now I've proven both of the triangles are the same. So I need to write my concluding statement. Therefore, so I just repeat the question. Triangle ABC is congruent or identical. And how do I know that? Okay, I've got a right angle. Every time I've got a right angle, I might have to use our right angle hypotenuse side. The right angles equal each other. These are the hypotenuse, and this is an extra side. Okay, solve them simultaneously. Okay. So to solve these simultaneously, don't know why it's getting blurry. So hopefully I'll attach it with the paper as well, so that you guys can see clearer. So I do apologize for that. I'm not sure why it's that might be better. Oh no, it becomes blurry as well. Let's leave it as that. Okay, so x plus y is 3. And that's so it's almost simultaneously. I'm going to use the elimination method, because that's probably my favorite method. To eliminate one of the variables, the coefficient has to be the same. So either we need to eliminate the x or the y, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to just get rid of x. To do that, I need to make this x the same number as this, that have the same coefficient. So at the moment, this has a coefficient of 1. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 2. And what that does, so I'm just multiplying the whole thing by 2. So x times 2 is 2x. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 3 is 6. So I can do that because I've multiplied everything evenly by 2. So I haven't broken any rules. I'm going to write this one directly underneath. Okay, so now they're the same. So I need to choose either plus or minus to eliminate this. So if you choose plus, look what happens. 2x plus 2x. That becomes 4x. I have not eliminated them. Maybe minus might not work. 2x minus 2x. That gives me 0. So I want to cross out the plus. Keep the minus. Draw my algorithm line. 2x take away 2x is 0. So you can just cross it out if you want. 2y take away 3y becomes minus y. 6 take away 8 is minus 2. Now you can solve for y. Just divide both sides by minus 1. Is y is 2. And once you have your y answer, you need to substitute it back into one of the originals to get your x answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub y is 2 into, so I'm going to label my equation. This is labeled equation 1, that's equation 2. I'm going to substitute it into number 1 because it looks easier. Doesn't matter which one you choose though. So x plus y, but I know what y is, it's 2, equals 3. Then I can just subtract 2 from both sides. X equals 1, y equals 2. So underline my answers. Okay, find the angle theta to the nearest minute. Once again, opposite the right angle is my hypotenuse. This is my opposite, that's my adjacent. So SOHCAHTOA, feel free to write it at the top of your page. I've got O and H, so I should be using sine. Sine theta equals 5/8. I want to find just theta, so just to find theta I need to get rid of sine. So I move this sine over here, or I get rid of it, it becomes this. So I'm moving it to this side, I'm moving the sine to the other side. When I move it to the other side, I gotta change its sign, or it becomes its opposite operation. Or you, that's how I explain it. Okay, or if you want to do the scale method, it's like you inverse sine this side to cancel out that. What you do to one side, you need to do to the other. So you do it to this side as well. Okay, and this cancels out with that. Okay, all you have to do is just put that in your calculator now. So I want it to the nearest minute. So we've got 38 degrees, 41 minutes, because if this is more than 30, you got to round this one up. So how do you do minutes? Yeah, like that. Okay. Simplify the expression 2xy. Okay, so what we're going to do, when we have fractions, we want to add them. We need to make them have the same denominator. This has a 5z. This is 15xz. So I can make this one have the same denominator as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to times the bottom by 3. So 5 times 3 gives me 15. And then I'm going to add, this is a z, this is a z. So this one's missing an x. So I'm going to times it by 3x to the top and bottom. So when I do that, 2xy times 3x becomes 6x squared y over 15xz at the bottom plus 8y over 15xz. And then I'm going to combine them. simplify the expression, and then see if we can factorize the top. I can factorize a 2 and a y. To factorize 2y, what's left? I've got 3x squared plus 8, not 8, plus 4. Let's just double check that I've expanded, factorized it right. Yeah, that's it. I feel like I could have done something more. No. Okay, it's done. Okay, last question for section 2. The cheese wheel of diameter 38 has one sector removed. All sectors are equal. Find correct to 2 decimal places the volume of the cheese wheel remaining. One sector of it. Find all sectors are equal. Okay. Find the volume of the cheese wheel. Okay, that's fine. So this sector has how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces in total. But 1/8 of it is missing here. So now when I find the volume of the cheese wheel that's remaining, I only have technically 7/8 left, because we took 1/8 out already. And we know volume, this is a cylinder, right? So a full cylinder, so like this. Volume is area times height. The area of the face is pi r squared. So in this case, our volume is going to be 7/8 times pi r squared h. Okay, we've got the radius, it's easy. So 7/8 times pi, what's the radius? 38 is the diameter, so radius will be 19 squared times the height, which is 8.5. So you can just do that in a calculator now. Two decimal places, 1 point. Cubed. There you go.